moved in 1800 to Washington, D.C., the court did not have a permanent home and repeatedly changed their meeting place in or around the Capitol building. Finally, in 1929, Chief Justice William Howard Taft persuaded Congress to authorize the construction of a permanent home for the court. Taft chose architect Cass Gilbert to design a building of dignity and importance suitable for its use as the permanent home of the Supreme Court of the United States. Construction began in 1932, but neither Taft nor Gilbert survived to see the Supreme Court building completed, but architects Cass Gilbert Jr. and Ron R. Rocart completed the construction in 1935 under Chief Justice Hughes. Here we have the west pediment, the triangular shape and design on top of the columns on the west side. It was designed by Robert I. Aiken, which includes 9 allegorical figures. All the way on the left is Chief Justice William Howard Taft, who represents research present. He's facing an English crown, a Pope's mitre, and a bishop's crosshair. The next figure is Senator Elihu Root, and the third is architect of the building Cass Gilbert. And the center holds 3 figures. Liberty enthroned is in the center, looking at the future with 2 guardian figures next to her. Lawyers on her right, and authorities on her left. Next is the Chief Justice that succeeded Taft, Charles Evans Hughes. Then Robert Aiken placed himself, the sculptor of this pediment, with John Marshall last to represent the research past. He's seen holding Roman scrolls, gazing at an urn, mosaic tables, and an oil lamp. The inscription on the architrave, which is the space beneath the pediment, reads "Equal justice under law," which is meant to represent the basic promise of our legal system. Our laws are just, and everybody is held equally accountable for them.
The east pediment of the Supreme Court was designed by artist Herman A. McNeil. The 3 central figures of the east pediment are Moses, Confucius, and Solon, representing the inspiration and formation of the modern justice system. The other figures represent varying ideas associated with justice, such as the punishments of justice and its associated mercy. A figure of youth is also included to symbolize the carrying forward of justice under this modern system. The inscription under the main figures reads, "Justice, the Guardian of Liberty," a quote suggested by Chief Justice Charles Evans Hughes after the first suggestion for an inscription was denied.
The sculptures on the eastern pediment of the building represented 3 great lawmakers from different civilizations: Moses, Solon, and Confucius. The carvings, however, sparked controversy because the central figures were from religious traditions. The sculptor, however, had no intention of having religious connotations.
The building wanted to harmonize well with nearby congressional buildings, so classical Corinthian architectural style was chosen. The Judiciary Court is a co-equal independent branch of the United States government, so the scale of its building must be similar to those around it. One building around it is the Capitol. It is facing directly across the front, or the west side, and it is building for the legislative part of the government. They have both similar style and size because they're both equally represented in checks and balances for our government. The Supreme Court building itself is 4 stories high, is 305 feet front to back, and 304 feet wide or north to south. These buildings are very equal and represent each other well.
The architect of the Supreme Court, Cass Gilbert, was born in 1859 as the son of a surveyor. After graduating from MIT with a degree in architecture, he managed to travel the world in a grand tour. He saw London, Paris, and even Rome. During this tour, he took inspiration from the classical architecture, including the column system and Corinthian architecture in general. These drawings proved useful in designing the Supreme Court and other governmental buildings. In 1934, Cass Gilbert passed away before he could complete the Supreme Court, yet his son, Cass Gilbert Jr., was able to finish it before him. Today he is pictured in the pediment as one of the central figures, as an ode to his architectural prowess in designing the Supreme Court.
To the right side of the Supreme Court is a statue, which is known as the Authority of the Law. described as a powerful, erect, and militant. He holds a tablet of law with his left hand and a sword behind him, which represents the power to enforce law. Inscribed on the tablet is the word lex, which is the Latin word for the law.
The right sculpture on the right side of the Supreme Court is of a large female figure called the Contemplation of Justice, and on her left arm is resting a book of law, and in her right hand is a smaller female figure that is a personification of justice. When the concept of justice is in this given form, it's a lady because of the Western tradition that the female Themis, which was the goddess of law and justice, was a girl.
Now that we got a good glimpse of the exterior, let's take a look inside the interior.
Inside the court chamber, there are 22 columns that are made from old convent Quaere Sienta from Italy. It is said that they were able to obtain the marble for their interior columns because of Gilbert's friendship with Mussolini. Frieze for the south and north courtrooms are different from the east and west courtrooms. A frieze is the middle horizontal band above the architrave. The courtroom friezes were all designed by Adolf Weinmann. The frieze for the south and north courtroom was designed as a procession of great lawmakers in history to portray the development of law. However, in the east and west courtroom, the frieze portrayed a more allegorical or symbolic representation of law instead of historical lawgivers.
While the justices aren't debating or deciding on important topics, they could be practicing their weightlifting or basketball in the gym at the top of the Supreme Court. Critics have dubbed this the highest court in the land, as it rests directly above the Supreme Court Great Entrance Hall, the pediment right there. So if you go on out there, you might just see one of the old justices staying in shape by playing basketball or lifting weights.